Hello and welcome to another week of Blunt Lemon's Rank, the Alien franchise. Yeah, that's what we're doing. As usual, I'm joined by one Dion.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. It is not a good week to be us in terms of film viewing.
Speaking of not a good week, we've got Ben.
Hello, Chris. I thought you did very well just then on that intro.
Speaking of someone
for you.
who's done intros well in the past, I'm sure we've got Joe.
I don't think that's true.
Actually, I'm not
If it
sure
was,
you've.
it's
I'm not
like
sure
that.
you've ever done an intro.
Actually, didn't I used to do a lot of the intros back in the day?
He did one or two for the MCU actually, if I recall.
I did. Also in the before times. Pretty sure I did quite a few.
Or like the old Blunt Lemon podcasts.
The old day.
Lost
Yeah.
to time. Lost to time those. Anyway,
Yep.
as you probably guessed from the title of this video/stream, we here at the Blunt Lemons gather once a week, every week, apart from next week, and also occasionally 1 week in every month when we don't gather, to talk about a franchise we're ranking. And as you probably guessed, it's Alien, and we're on Alien Resurrection, which may have brought us all down a little bit this week. But hey, we're here doing this as per usual.
We didn't
we're
suffer
heroes.
alone, damn it. This is our therapy group.
You thought
Us
we couldn't
four and
sink
Nina
any
in the
lower.
chat, we watched this together.
It's a key point worth mentioning because it makes everything better.
Another
It
key
did.
point worth mentioning is that I watched this on my 26th birthday,
And
and I will
It's
have
true.
that forever.
you didn't watch it with your mother this time, so we won't get her opinion.
No, she'll probably say she liked it because I question her. Sometimes.
Did you like the last one?
Yeah.
Oh no.
She's a strange lady. That's all I'll say on the matter.
She just sees the good in everyone and everything, I suppose. It's a quality. It is a quality. I just
mean,
don't understand.
Yeah.
Just
It
not the
takes
quality
effort
we
to
should.
find the good. No.
Okay, right. Released on the 26th of November 1997, with a budget of $70 million and a not so stellar box office of $161.4 million. Which, if I remember correctly, in Hollywood, you want to roughly triple your budget if you want to make money on your film, so this was a bit of a flop.
Yeah, so like they say like the budget, and then you got to say it's like double that for marketing. So yeah, they didn't do very well.
I can't
No.
remember if any of these are adjusted for inflation as well, but remember the random fact I told you that got Sigourney Weaver back into this film? They paid her the budget of Alien 1 for her to come back for Resurrection, so that's where 11 million went as well.
A full seventh of the budget went to Sigourney Weaver,
I'm
and she
baffled
did
by that.
magical work with it.
Yes, she did.
Playing some character wasn't Ripley, but
She
it was
hasn't played
someone.
Ripley for 2 films now.
This is true.
Which begs the question: why are they so insistent on having Ripley in these movies?
Because she's got that star power.
It's honestly, I
She's
want
the
to know
face of
who
the
made
franchise and one of the
decisions.
few strong female leads at the time.
I would have said yes. I agree, but I know what you're saying. But I would have said the Alien is the face of the franchise.
Yeah.
But
You'd think that, Ben, but no, it's Sigourney Weaver.
they even ruined that in this film.
And then they'll ruin the Alien in this film, and more to come.
Aliens have never looked so good, baby.
I'm going to assume none of us have a pass with this film. This was my first time watching Alien Resurrection. I watched a review of it at some point in the past, but I'd forgotten a lot of it.
Same boat for me. I've
Yes.
seen reviews for it, but definitely not have a pass with it, considering it came out when I was 1.
It did occur to me that I must have watched the Nostalgia Critics review back in day, but can't remember it.
I think I might be the same because I remembered scenes from it, but I definitely hadn't seen it.
Well, I guess that segues into our quick thoughts, which will just probably just turn into a rant about everything related to Alien Resurrection.
I was going to say, I think the quick thoughts will swiftly meld into the key topics, but I will try and keep it brief and say my quick thoughts were, once again, the film, it had upgrades in some areas compared to the last film. Not the last films, the last film. But honestly, for the most part, it's kind of boring, samey. Like you guys said whilst we were watching, we've seen it before. Didn't make me as angry as Alien 3 though, but we'll get more into that when we discuss the key topics.
I enjoy this one much more than Alien 3, but I don't. Visual effects, words. Visual effects notwithstanding, I might say this is a worse made film than Alien 3. Like, there's a lot of weird editing decisions and wonky shots and weirdness that goes on in this film, where I'm like, Alien 3 is more competently made, maybe. But, at least this one's a bit more fun.
Yeah, there is a lot of, like, weird close-ups of people. That's one thing I noticed. Just stop getting in their face.
Yeah,
That's-
and like lots of glancing moments, shall we say?
A lot
Weird tense.
Weird camera zooms and pans and off angles.
Yeah.
It feels very 90s to me.
Yeah, I guess I'll go with mine then. This movie baffled me in so many ways watching it. That was my quick thoughts. It's really really bad. Really like it got to the movie and I didn't think it at moments it could get worse, but it did every time. And it's just bad. It's like I can't go into it in more detail without getting into a huge rant, but it's baffling how bad this movie is.
Ben?
Shockingly,
Shockingly,
I agree with all of you. It's really stupid, but weirdly dull and forgettable at the same time. Like, I'm really struggling to remember a lot of it. Like, we only watched it like 3 days ago, 2 days ago.
You mean you don't remember Ron Perlman's stellar performance?
I remember
or the goo hole. Ben, tell me you remember the goo hole.
I do remember. I remember a lot of goo. I remember everyone being sweaty, and I remember the aliens being like dripping.
Ugh.
They were very gooey.
There's a lot of
like
fluids.
that.
A lot of mysterious fluids in this.
Oh yeah, the alien eggs are like a lot more gooey and moving and
Pulsate.
Yeah, pulsating's the word. That's it.
We should probably mention that the director of this film is French, and he directed like Amelie.
I thought you were just going to leave it there.
French,
Wait, you see, the director of this film, he's French. Moving on.
I mean, that's basically said what I said when we were watching it. That's I was like, okay, guys, he's French, and also look at this picture, because if you look up the director of this film, the IMDb picture that is his profile is fucking hilarious, and it explains so much.
Yeah, there's just a bit throughout the whole film. There's this very weird,
overtly sexual,
very sexual vibe. Like Ripley
like,
and
not to stereotype, but we're stereotyping.
yes. There's nothing, not because he's French, but it is because he's French.
People, everyone wants to fuck each other. At one point, the android gets shot, and instead of just being like, "Oh look, she's been shot," they're like, we have a close up on the hole, and it's like oozing like sticky white stuff, and then Sigourney sticks a finger in there. It's like, ooh, oh dear,
Grim, isn't it?
It's all so gooey and everything's so sticky. This movie has a sticky quality to it.
Shall we discuss Ripley being a clone, which is also first. There's two stupid things. She's a clone. She's a clone, and she's also an alien, I guess. Somehow.
Yep. She's a clone. From what material they cloned her from, who knows?
She got vaporized.
Vaporized in the last movie. But they cloned her, but not only is she a clone, but she also retains like some of the memories of original Ripley. But has got a lot weirder.
But also has like some of the alien biology / instincts in her. She's like connected to their hive mind and things. Oh dear God, it's weird. She had that acid blood.
She's got claws or nails.
Punch through metal.
She can't say fork. She says fuck. And
Because
it's funny.
It's horny.
She can shoot a basketball through a hoop without even looking. Which
she can.
To be fair, like you said, Ben, fun fact, she actually did that, which is like, oh, okay, cool. Because apparently, for some reason, she actually got like basketball lessons for this film just to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I don't understand. Why? What does that mean? Does that mean are the aliens just fucking amazing at basketball?
That's what I was thinking. I was like, does that mean like a xenomorph is like it can like do that too? Like a xenomorph's like really good at basketball.
They're going to be very agile and dexterous. I imagine they absolutely kill it.
Oh, they're also
that'll
8
be the
foot
next
tall.
movie.
They're also Spider-Man, because I remember in that like weird fight scene when one of them tosses a basketball at her and she just like catches it without even holding it. She just like holds her hand out and it's in her hand, stuck there,
Yeah.
like proper Spider-Man moment.
Oh yeah, it
It's
did.
so
That was a
stupid.
Spider-Man moment.
That
Like, don't get me
pulse-
wrong, we've seen him climb walls and stuff before, but I assumed it was with like sheer strength and grip, not Spider-Man.
They're just so
Or-
sticky. They can stick to anything.
they are just like dripping in goo. Like
Yeah,
wherever an alien is, there's just goo dripping from everything.
yeah.
Hey, did it-
Apart from Joe's profile pic, the aliens in this film looked pretty damn good. They didn't have like a retarded green screen
Haze.
horrible effect alien. They all looked good.
Yes, they
Hey.
did look better. Yes.
Up until they started, there was a few scenes where I noticed where they got properly shot, and just big like luminous globules of blood came out, and it looked a bit ridiculous. But apart from that, they were pretty dope. Especially when at the beginning when they're actually in the cell, and you see them like, okay, you look the business.
But they weren't scary.
No,
This film was not. This film did not feel like a horror film.
Like
Yeah,
the first moment from you see the aliens, they're in like this vulnerable like position, and they're just not frightening. You know, like this isn't cool.
I don't mind that,
Mm.
but
Yeah,
when they get out, the thing is, they can look mostly like whatever, but the way the movie's framed around it will decide whether they're a scary enemy or not. And just
yeah.
because they kill things and people die doesn't make them a cool villain. They made the aliens
Yeah.
not cool. I don't know why. The lighting, everything about this movie just made it dull.
It is dull. Like I was saying while we were watching it, I was just like, nothing about this is interesting to me, and I've made the aliens boring, and I don't like care about them anymore.
It
'Cause it's
doesn't
just-
help that they were basically doing a reiteration of what they've already done. It's just a slightly different setting and a slightly different group of people. It's like we went from a refinery spaceship to a colony with marines, and then we went to a prison planet with prisoners slash priests, and now we're on a space station with military again, and it's like, wait, we've seen this before. And then the military immediately fucks off. It's like, oh, okay. And it's like, you're on a space station, but with bounty hunters. It's like, oh, okay.
Like
Mm,
it
colourful
wouldn't
cast.
it wouldn't have made the movie good at all. But if the station had like the soldiers had tried to fight the aliens off, and at least I would have got the aliens like ripping men apart or something. Like as they like move, it wouldn't have been good, but at least I would have seen an alien kill someone in an
Yeah.
amusing fashion. But instead, they
I
were
like-
like, as soon as the aliens got through, all the soldiers were like, "Fuck it, we're out, bye."
Yeah,
And
Treat
it's
away
everyone
they
on the
went.
station.
Keeping in mind as well that this is, we forgot to mention this when we were talking about Ripley in general, but she was cloned, and this is 200 years in the future, and they were like laughing at the idea of corporations and things like that. And this is a private military organization that's like doing these illegal experiments and all that on this station. And it's like, okay, so your military's advanced 200 years. To be fair, the Marines in Aliens did pretty well. Like obviously most of them died, but they still got out alive and blew up the nest and all that. So I was like, okay, let's see how their military does 200 years later. And they just go, nope, I'm out.
Oh, in
Yeah,
There's no
They literally
precaution
don't
or plan
attempt
for this.
anything.
Yeah, there was no procedure for in the case this incredibly deadly thing breaks out. It's like everyone eats the fuck out of the base, and that's it. It's like great.
in
awesome.
Aliens, I always got the impression that if the Marines had known what they were up against, they probably would have performed a lot better. But they didn't. In this one, they know everything about the aliens, apart from apparently the fact they have acid blood, or indeed
They
anything,
can spit acid
or that they can
'cause-
spit acid, or anything
Yeah.
like that. But
because we found out the acid blood goes through the cells they were in. They just
Yep.
decided not to spit the acid. Fuck.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
This movie
Fuck.
sucks.
Oh yeah, that's a point. If they could spit acid, why did they kill one alien? Why didn't they all just spit acid on one
Because
spot?
this movie
Because-
doesn't. Nothing in this movie makes sense.
Because they couldn't hydrate, and they didn't have enough spit. They'd run
Yeah.
out of spit.
Oh,
I mean,
what
they
they were
couldn't
gooey enough.
hydrate. Do you see how much goo's coming off them?
They were dripping.
okay,
Yep,
there's
that's-
one simple explanation: they just didn't like Jimmy the alien. They looked at him and were like, okay,
Yeah.
we could vomit up some acid. It's quicker to kill you. And he's like, what? No. And they're like, yeah, let's get him. And then they beat him to death.
It's like,
You
sorry,
slept with
Jimmy,
my
you-
wife, but you don't have a wife.
we
I
have
don't
a
care.
queen. She's my queen.
She's my
Like
queen.
that could have been a pretty cool element that they turned and killed this alien to get out if they didn't spit acid blood.
You can't even be like the filmmakers forgot that they can do that, because later in the movie, and my
Yeah.
favorite death scene in the movie, they use the alien spitting acid in someone's face as a whole plot device.
How's
Yeah.
that your favorite death scene?
It's my
Oh
favorite
my
death scene because of just
God.
that guy decided he did not want to live anymore. He was alive. He was still alive. And he was like, you know what? No, I'm taking myself out this movie. And everyone was like, no, you don't have to. And he was like, slowly just unclipping the belt, like, if I can, I'm dying here.
I see.
Okay.
And then the belt buckle gets stuck. He's like, no, taking out the knife. I'm going.
I am dying here. And they're like, no, don't do it. Just,
And then he
we can
falls into
carry
the
you
water,
further.
and it's like, well, the aliens are both dead, so you can just swim back out.
Yeah, completely fine. That guy's completely alive, but they all act like he's dead.
Well, he's definitely not alive now. The space station crashed into the Earth.
Oh yeah, there was a nuclear apocalypse or something. Good movie.
Oh dear lord, the guy that we're on about don't know his name. It's the black guy who can shoot anything apparently, apart from when it's 2 foot in front of him.
Bullet bouncing Bob. Called him.
Bouncing Bob. I'm okay with this.
Another reason this whole sequence is one of my favorites is the alien matrixing its way up a ladder, about 3 feet away from all of them with guns.
Doing like Neo.
Who thus far cannot miss to save their lives. Sometimes they accidentally kill aliens, but this one alien's he's on a ladder. It can only go up. It goes one direction, and they're shooting. He's like matrixing his way out the way of all these bullets.
You make it sound a lot fancier and more reasonable than it is, Chris. It literally sways from
shakes.
left to right. You could just shoot the hands that are holding the goddamn ladder, and it would fall off.
It's so like, again, there's a perfectly reasonable way to get around that. The aliens are super agile. Make it jump on the walls or something. Do anything. Just fuck me.
We know they can climb walls.
They had this movie and everything in these alien movies. It's all there for them, and they just do the shittest things possible, and it's so infuriating.
Also, why did it have to be like one alien there? Like, it's 1997. It's the future. We have more budget than we did in 85. Have more aliens crawling up the sides or something. Have them blast away aliens, but they just can't like keep up with it or something. Something more interesting than this one alien's on a ladder, swaying from left to right.
Yeah, why was it climbing a ladder anyway?
Exactly. Don't need to.
Because
That-
they're all
It decided to be
half-human now.
sporting. It decided
Oh,
to
yeah.
be sporting.
Yeah, I'll give you guys a chance. God,
There's like thousands more of us anyway. We just
God.
barely see any of them.
Also in that sequence, they give the obvious bad guy a gun, who immediately just turns and shoots someone. That another great moment for me. Also, this is the moment where they all come up in their little plunge pool because they were in the underwater section of the ship, because all ships have that, and they're just surrounded by facehuggers, which immediately jump on Ripley's face. But you know that's not a problem anymore. We can
And
fight
she just rips it
facehuggers
off.
No, Ripley has super strength.
Everything
So-
about this scene is wrong, and that's why it's so delightful.
I think that's one of my favorite reactions whilst we were watching the film, where the traitor shoots the at that time not known to some android, and Joe, like 30 seconds after, I was like, if she comes back and there's like a fucking android or something, I'll be so pissed. I was like, oh,
See,
oh, just you wait.
So I knew it was going to happen, but I was like, "There's no way she come back," because she fell into a pool with an alien swimming past her. He would have just tore her apart and then moved on. I was like, if she comes back, I'll be fucking even more livid than I am. And
Not
the
only does
daughter.
she come back, she somehow beats them up there.
Where did she go? Like, oh
Exactly.
God, there's so much to say about this movie. How much none of it makes sense. And it's all so stupid.
This is
There's
all.
just
This
so
is all.
many-
This is all why this is the best sequence in the whole film. It's so terrible. It's shot
Yeah.
so. There's a bit where he's underwater. He shoots a grenade from underwater. It bounces off a mirror, like tumbles off the mirror, and an alien egg swallows it. How did that work? What's going
Yeah,
on?
why
I
did the
don't
alien
know.
egg swallow it?
And then everything exploded.
And
Yeah,
then, no,
that's the point as well. He shot up two grenades out of his grenade launcher, and there was like 10 explosions. I was like, oh, okay. Why are these eggs all self-destructing?
It's like
It's
they wrote
filled with
themselves.
petrol.
Yeah, they wrote themselves into a corner, like, well, let's just blow everything up, and that's what they did. And then
it wasn't just
Carnage
one corner they
ensued.
wrote them. They wrote themselves into like 12 corners in one scene, and then they got themselves out of it every time with a different, more ridiculous solution.
Yeah.
Also, Nina's posing a good question here. What happened to most of the aliens?
I was going to say
Because
they were
you
all having
barely
an
see them
orgy.
throughout the film.
Yeah, they were having that orgy that we do not speak of, but we will have to speak
I was
of.
going to say, we're
We
going to have to
will.
speak of it at some point.
Oh,
It
can we
was
just? It's just. Ooh.
There's an eye-opening scene. A few eye-opening scenes.
Other things opening as well.
No.
For a bit of context, towards the end of the film, we're running to our escape hatch because it's about 100 yards down the hall. It's not been that far in their time down, but Ripley, sensing the aliens, is like, oh, wait a second, underneath these floorboards, that's where they are. They're scared, or so whatever she says.
She said the Queen is in danger, or she's in pain.
She's in pain or something. So because we care now, apparently, that the alien queen's in danger. So Ripley jumps down onto like this pulsating alien like floor that just swallows a hole slowly in a very sexual manner, and it awoke something in me. And that feeling.
Not only that, but when she's
feeling
getting
was
carried
disgust.
away towards the Queen by a xenomorph as well, and she like hooks it romantically, and it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
Well, it looked a bit more like humping
Yeah,
in
but
the air.
on top of all of that, throughout this movie, she's always like, "They're my children. I'm the alien's mother." And then we have this like weird like sexy scene with your
Embrace.
apparent children. I'm not understanding.
Oh God,
what's going on
it's made
here.
even worse.
You made something horrific even more so. It's just there's no need for any of it. Like when she falls down into the weird, I don't know what you call it. Do we just call it an orgy?
But what was
A
it? Was
weird
it?
mass of aliens.
It just
Yeah.
it looked like loads of aliens stuck together, but like it didn't at the same time. But then there's one alien like she
Yeah,
goes through, and one alien's like embracing her, and she's like
splayed out.
she's like fondling it. I'm like, what is happening?
Now,
This is-
I would like to remind people as well at this point that part of Ripley coming back, she said she refused to promote the film unless that scene was in it.
which leads us to believe she wanted to tank this movie.
She was
100%.
trolling them so hard.
She knows
Yeah.
what she's doing.
She's 100%. Sigourney Weaver's just like, you know what? This is going to be the last fucking one. We're going to kill this. You could tell after every take, she just turned around and was like laughing and just taking the piss the whole time.
Oh yeah, she definitely had fun.
And God bless her. Like you have to. I mean, she did a good job considering as an actress, but you could tell she was just.
At least this time there was a reason for Ripley not to behave like Ripley, and that she was half xenomorph.
Yeah, but the reason's fucking dumb.
And it's fucking dumb, but at least there's a reason, unlike in the third one, where it's just like, why aren't you telling these guys about the alien? Just stop being fucking evasive, Ripley.
Yeah.
Sorry, a random Ripley related. Remember the cell they were keeping Ripley in? The
Yeah.
weird like pit
Bag.
without a toilet or a bed. Just
Yeah,
also
And
she was in a plastic sheet for some reason.
yeah. Just stick her in a plastic bag. It's symbolic or whatever. But also, why would you do that?
We've birthed her.
Oh, weird.
Also, the like most inattentive guards ever, because when the android breaks into Ripley's cell and is about to kill her, you see the guard walking past multiple times above them. It's like it's a glass floor. You literally just have to look down.
It's very
Look
poor
down.
design.
Tell you,
Like-
yeah. If you're there, you're not gonna look down. That's gonna fuck your neck up.
Imagine just looking down all day. You'd trip over something. You'd walk into a wall. Silly.
Ludicrous.
Also, she's like 50 feet down. Like, you can't see what she's doing down there.
You can see that there's two people in a prisoner cell for one.
Not,
They really should have just kept her in the same cell they kept the other aliens in, where you could just see them.
Yeah.
They're just there. That's the alien.
I thought for a second that you meant just stick them
Same
together. Same one with the aliens. I guess they wouldn't do anything because she is one.
I
I don't
guess.
know.
Yeah.
Well, that just kind of robs some of the like later on when like the aliens get loose, they're trying to break into Ripley's cell, and Ripley's like, "Oh, I've got to get out of here. The aliens coming." Well, no, you don't. They're not going to hurt you.
You literally get taken by the aliens later, and they just take you to the Queen for some fucking reason.
Maybe she just wasn't. She doesn't want them to have sex with her.
Is
Because
that
that's
what
they want to
is
do.
that what the aliens wanted?
I mean, it's what happened. That's what they were doing. I don't know.
She wanted or not.
Wait, when did she have sex with an alien?
Well, she kind of. It
didn't.
was fondling.
It was implied.
It was alien
I'm-
orgy. It was.
I'm
It was
pretty
gonna happen.
Oh, you mean the alien orgy hole? Okay, I remember.
Yeah.
Well, wasn't there the scene after where they were being embraced
Yeah, it's like she goes
And-
through the hole, and then an alien is like embracing her.
from behind, and it's
I thought
very.
I thought it was just carrying her away.
Yeah, it was just carrying her to the
Yeah,
Queen.
but then she was
No,
like
honestly, Google that
leaning
shit.
into it. Yeah, it's really sexual.
I mean,
It's,
it
Yeah,
was
she was
sexual,
leading
yes.
into it, but the xenomorph was literally just carrying her to the Queen.
Nah, mate, honestly, Google some images.
Okay, this is for later when the lights are off. Okay.
For Chris's personal collection.
My own research. I want to talk about the scene. Why was the alien taking her to the Queen? What purpose did that serve? Because she got taken to the Queen, and then the Queen was having like this really like graphic birth scene to birth the sad alien. But like, why did Ripley have to be there? And why was Wormtongue there?
I was going to say
be saying stuff.
To be fair to that, I think it was more just taking her to where they were imprisoning people, because Wormtongue and there were other people there as well. So I assume it's just like in Aliens where they were taken to be cocooned and then face hugged eventually.
But then, but they don't harm her.
Well, they didn't cocoon her yet. No.
No, they don't harm her anyway, do they? I thought they were all friends, or pally.
Well, I don't know. To be fair, the shit did go out down after that because the alien queen gave birth to sad alien, and the sad alien beat the alien queen's face in instantly. So maybe
Yeah,
Really
it's-
menacing, awesome.
It
queen.
somehow ruins the awesomeness of the alien queen, because you see the alien queen is the first alien you see, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah, but the effects looking pretty good. And then you see her later on, and because of Ripley being merged with a xenomorph, it's also happened the other way around. So now instead of having like the giant egg sac and just laying like thousands of eggs, she's like giving birth with a human's reproductive system. So it's kind of like a graphic actual giving birth of just like a single alien. It's like, and then as soon as she gives birth to it, the retarded looking thing that is Joe's icon, it immediately kills the alien queen as well. It's like, well, there goes one of the most badass things in this franchise, diminished to that.
I have two questions about this. A, if it's using human, so like it's got a bit of Ripley, which means I guess it has human reproductive organs. Who banged it to make this human alien baby? Like human reproductive organs don't just make babies on their own. Did someone bang this alien queen?
Where did the original alien eggs come
Probably.
from if she's not laying the eggs?
Yeah, that was my second question. There are face huggers and alien eggs in this. If she's not laying them, who's doing that? There's got
she must have. Maybe she can do both. She's like a weird.
Or she just decides to swap.
She can just swap. I don't know.
No, I don't want to lay eggs anymore. I want to give birth painfully.
There's not a thing there's not a point in this movie you could answer with a logical way, because everything is completely baffling and wrong.
all through
Remember
this birth
when the
scene-
most-
Sorry,
go on.
I was going to say all through this birth team, Wormtongue is like. He was weird before, but as soon as I guess when he became like the alien's prisoner, he went full like
Crazy.
He was like, "Oh, the perfect life form! They've finally done it!" Blah blah blah. I'm like, "What? Why?
You're
why?
a beautiful,
Yeah,
beautiful butterfly."
Ugh.
I guess
Yeah,
this finally
strange,
broke
yeah.
you even more."
There was no indication that he was like that though.
Well,
was
there was
just,
there was that
I
bit
mean, you
where
say that he tried to make out with an alien.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe he banged Ripley.
Maybe that's what happened.
That's why
Oh,
he was so
no.
invested. He was there for the birth. Classic Wormtongue.
At least he went on to better things.
Yeah. which is anything really. Just not going on to anything would be better things.
Yes, but he made it a motherfucking Lord of the Rings.
Hold your tongue behind your teeth.
Then he got stabbed.
No, there you
It
go.
was
Shot.
great. Oh, he did get shot. Then Saruman, he stabbed Saruman.
Yes.
Spoilers.
All in figure.
That's a
But,
different review
yeah.
series than this one.
I was gonna say because
Oh.
we were talking about just like trying to explain things with logic. It's like, remember when the most illogical thing was in the first film, where it was just like, okay, the alien grows up really fast for some fucking. But apart from that, mostly works.
Yep. These aren't the same movies. I refuse.
No, they don't, because they just Alien 3 and this just don't feel like I can understand why they want to like take do like a Terminator thing and just kind of reboot it from Aliens onwards, because these two films, they just feel nothing like the other ones, and they've got nothing.
I swear
Yeah,
to God, if they do what the prequels that we're going to be watching over the next few weeks have done, and they reboot it, and it's not in like the 80s sci-fi future, I'm going to be annoyed because with the prequels they did it to like basically modern sci-fi standards, and it's like, but how did they go from this then to like 80s grungy bulky sci-fi?
I can't even remember the
So it's my problem.
time frames of.
It's my problem with a lot of prequels. It's like, why, like, you got to make some effort to match with your original source material.
This
But-
honestly.
I've got questions for the writers about this human alien hybrid.
Go for it.
Just why?
God.
We've spent movies, right, being told the aliens are the perfect predator, they're perfect at what they do, blah, 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 and then this one they're like, well, no, they're not perfect. If they had a vagina, they'd be perfect. And also, if they were half human and weirdly sad all the time, that's true perfection. They're better than aliens. I'm like, no, they're not. They're not better than aliens. Why are you telling me this?
weirdly sad or like horrifyingly angry.
No,
There's
no,
no.
it's a helpful alien. Remember, it went into the cargo bay, snuck up on the android, and went, "Hey, I'll close that door for you."
He's a nice boy, really.
I mean-
he just wants to be pet.
Yeah, this.
That leads me to
this-
one of my other questions about it. Is like, why is this one like the aliens? You can see why they're bad. They're a parasite that overtake populations and implant eggs in human chests that then kill their hosts. This one's just an animal. It reproduces normally. It's like a bear. A bear will kill you, but it's not necessarily a problem for society. Why do we have to get rid of this alien thing?
It is fuck ugly there.
It is
It-
very.
It's feathers.
Indeed.
Yeah, no, it's a very good point. I mean, yeah, it kills people, but if you stood next to a bear, it would probably and pointed a gun at it, you'd probably be dead. Like one of the most upsetting scenes in all these alien movies is when this thing got sucked out of a window and it was like screaming and it's like, oh god, why?
And it looks so
Like,
sad.
Mum, why did you do this?
And then
I was like, oh,
it looks
Jesus.
Ripley in the eyes with its big, sad puppy dog alien eyes. Like, why? What's happening to me?
Why would you do this?
I will admit it was quite creative. It looked horrible, but it was
It looks-
creative.
It was like the skin flop came out the other side and bulged up. I was like, oh, Christ.
Yes. I quite liked that it had like just its head left at the end, and then its skin came off, and it was just a skull. And it looked really silly.
It's between that effect of it being sucked out into space, or the alien in Alien 3 emerging from the dog and just like splattering blood and what looks like sick and stuff everywhere. This is the
Ugh.
most disgusting effect. So it's like, I
Yeah.
hated it.
I don't. I think the most disgusting thing for me is the pregnant alien queen. I think that's fucking horrible. Didn't like that.
I mean, yeah, I can agree. It's definitely up there. Ugh.
I mean, some of the worst ones are the clones. You haven't even mentioned them yet.
I was gonna bring that up.
Oh,
but I didn't know
fucking
how
hell,
to
the
segue
clones.
into that because I just remembered
Yeah.
a random Ripley point. Well, first of all, it was also this. Because I remember when this thing was birthed, and you guys were like, "Oh my god, this thing has tits! Why?" And then my brain went from that to the Ripley clones because of that horrific one at the end, and then my brain went from that to, "Oh yeah, remember when the Ripley clone went, 'Kill me'?" And so, how does Ripley kill it? Not with a bullet to the head. No, flamethrower.
Because of course she does.
Yeah, I take it. I take it back.
Maximum
That's the worst thing in this. Like to look at was horrifying. I was like, don't want to see
Oh,
that.
Yeah, so for context, people, when we were watching this film, Chris and I knew about this film going in like 100%, even though we hadn't actually seen it before now. And the opening credit sequence for this film is like weird, distorted close-up shots of all these deformed clones of Ripley, and it looks absolutely disgusting. And then, yeah, when you get to see it later on in the film, it is also very disgusting.
vile. It's
But
so
it was fun to laugh at while you guys like, what is this?
People are fucked.
To be honest,
Why did-
as a concept,
Why did they come up with this? Why would you do this? I don't want to see that. I want to see it.
As a concept, I think it's kind of cool that they had all these like failed experiments of like just as a scene, it's like, oh look, there's all these failed alien experiments. But I mean, it's in this film, and it's the resolution to the scene is terrible.
yeah.
Bullets
Yeah,
in the
I
head,
do
whatever.
agree. The idea is kind of neat, but it's just rubbish.
Well, a lot of the ideas are kind of cool in concept. Not bringing Ripley back or any of that shit. Fuck that. But a lot of the ideas are kind of cool. Same with Alien Cubed or Alien 3. The premise of it being in a prison, that's cool. The execution, fucking terrible.
I could see bounty hunters trying to deal with an alien being interesting, because it's kind of like it's a bit of a mixture, because it's not just like the colonial marines, but it's also not like space truckers. It's in a group that could be interesting, but no,
So this
not
is
this
really
group of people.
See, this is really interesting because I genuinely I don't know. I think these last two films have just killed it for me. I cannot see in any way, shape, or form this ever being good
I can't.
again.
Aliens.
Alien aliens.
Aliens, boys. It can't.
Alien.
Alien is still cool, but the way these movies have done it has it can't possibly be cool no matter what they do in the style that they've done it with these last two movies. It can't be done. But they had it. You know, they made two great movies. Just do it again.
I just remembered my favorite sequence from the film, and it's not that other sequence I said was my favorite sequence, but we'll get to it in a minute.
Okay, keep that thought in mind. I was just gonna say, like, now I'm not a writer and my brain's kind of dead today after work, but there's definitely more you could do in the Alien universe or with the aliens themselves. Because I mean, for Christ's sake, what was the progression from Alien to Aliens? The Alien, you had one, and space truckers were down and trying to deal with it, and then they just went S on the end. It was like, oh no. But then they've just kind
Jeez.
of kept up. But then from it's I've just realized actually they went to the cycle. They went from Alien to Aliens, and then they went Alien 3. So I was like, oh, okay, so you're gonna do like times to the power of 3 more aliens? No, we're just gonna have one alien again. Oh, okay. And this happened to Dog. It's like, oh, okay. And then it's like, oh, okay, so Alien Resurrection, what's that one about? It's like, oh yeah, no, this time we're gonna have it's gonna be Alien Resurrection. Ripley's gonna come back. It's like, oh, okay, good. And well, what's the main threat this time? I was like, oh, but just more aliens again. It's like, oh, just that? Oh, okay. We went aliens.
With this sort of thing, you've got to derive the fun from the setting. And a prison for Alien 3 is a cool setting. There's plenty that you can think to do in a prison, because prisons are interesting places. Yet they didn't do any of it. They were like, we're going to put it in a weird prison that doesn't have anything working. Okay. Fine, I guess.
No weapons of any kind, because as Ripley pointed out in the film, she was like, this is a maximum security prison, and you have no weapons of any kind. We're on the honor system. It's like, you fucking what?
In this movie, the setting's a bit lame. I like the idea of bounty hunters versus aliens is pretty alright. I'm sure cleverer people than me can come up with something fun with that. But like secret science lab is a bit, yeah. I mean, I guess you could do stuff with secret science lab. It just devolved mostly to corridors in this one, though.
Yeah, like the last one is just brown corridors. Really boring.
I just don't understand why in these, like, I can understand the first two films, just the kind of like the company being greedy, but after that it's just like, why is the military so insistent on I mean, fuck. I mean, the Jurassic Park sequels also have this problem. Why is the military so obsessed to try to get these perfect predators to be like to use them in military?
It's just so
Well,
cost
just
inefficient.
uses. It's like, you could just use a nuke if you hate them that much. I know they're expensive, but fine. I'll scale it down. Just bullets, bomb. We know bullets can kill these things.
This is more a problem I have with Jurassic World. With Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, at the end of it, they have this whole sequence where they're trying to auction off the dinosaurs to military people. Like, $124 million for this Velociraptor. I'm like, why spend that much, Mr. Warlord, when you could just purchase 1,000 AK-47s? And then shoot people, because you know how they killed the bloody Velociraptor at the end of this movie with a shotgun. It's not like it's not like this thing's infallible to damage or something. You're spending a lot of money on something that's useless compared to an AK-47.
It's also the problem with this though, because whilst there wasn't an auction trying to sell off the aliens, they were literally trying to domesticate the alien. That's what because that's what the scene with Wormtongue was. As weird as it was, he was like kind of, I suppose, egging it on when he was like kissing the glass and getting the alien and egging the alien on, and then the alien attacked the glass and he steamed it. Oh, sorry, not steamed it. We found out it was liquid nitrogen. But yeah, it's just so that was him being like, oh, okay, you can learn, so we might be able to tame you, because they were discussing that with Ripley as well. They were like, yeah, we could tame these things. It's fine.
That's an interesting take, Dion, because I thought he just wanted to fuck it.
That's what you got to tame it first.
Oh, and then you can fuck it.
Exactly.
How
else are you gonna do it?
First we tame them, and then
and we unleash the beast.
And then we make weird alien pregnant queens or something.
That's the end. That's the end game. That's the end
We're
game.
in the end game now, boys.
I miss Endgame.
Sadly
Can we go back to the MCU?
Let's not.
We could just be like the last film, Joe. It doesn't have to be the whole thing again. Just to wash out the bad taste of these last two films.
This has been painful. I will not lie.
I can't remember
deeply painful.
I can't remember if you said it in this episode, or if it was whilst we were actually watching it, Joe. But even you said that throughout the entire time of watching the MCU, none of them were as bad as this. It was either this one or the last two films that we watched.
Yeah, like 100. Like none of them even come close. The MCU movies, for whatever they are, at worst they are bog standard, off the shelf, well produced movies. These, like, I know it was a different time, but fuck me, like, they're just bad on another level.
It's the worst the 90s can crap out, and the 90s were pretty bad for movies to begin with.
Yeah.
Atrocious, and it's even more atrocious knowing that they did it right twice, and they
on the
know
first two goes.
Yeah, they know what makes a good alien movie. It's there. You don't even have to do anything particularly special. You just don't do what you did, which is not make an alien movie and stick an alien in there.
I want to paint a scene for you guys, right? Our good guys, after an intense movie of near scrapes and misses and possible suicides in pools, they finally made it back to the ship. They're powering up the ship. They're getting out of here. But oh no, the bad guy's on the ship with a gun. He's like, drop the guns or I'll shoot this android in the head. Even though we all said we don't like this android anyway. She can die. We don't like androids. Fuck them. But anyway, we're all very concerned that she might get iced now. Okay, we're very concerned about this. But oh no, we've been carting around Mr. Useless Glasses Man over here. We all knew he was infected with an alien the entire time, but we just wanted to get him off this ship for some reason, because we just want the alien out.
Might be able to cure him.
Might be able to cure him, sure. Yeah, that's it. We'll just have another alien out there. Start this whole process over again. But anyway, he's starting to feel a bit icky because the alien's about to burst out of his chest. He's like, okay, I'm going down. Oh, this is a tense scene. How are we going to get out of the android shot in the head?
I forgot about this scene.
So there's only one way out, and we all know it. It's to use the chest burster as an offensive weapon. In his death throes, this man gets Herculean strength, wrestles the man holding the gun to the ground, screaming as he does it because he knows he's on his way out. Nobody knows what a chest burster is, but he somehow knows what's happening to him. He wrestles the man down to like chest level, puts his head in front of the chestburster, has the chestburster burst through his chest, through the man's skull, taking them both out. And this, ladies and gentlemen, is
your
the
favourite
best
scene?
scene in the movie.
Yeah. I forgot about it.
So do
Oh,
I. Holy
This is
shit.
a real thing that they wrote.
That's- It's a
They
real
wrote
thing.
that.
Someone put
Spencer.
pen to paper to make that.
It's the way he just runs at him and gets shot like 20 times. He's possessed. He's like,
And
yeah.
he just fucking
So-
beats the shit out of him.
Remember,
For no reason.
No.
again,
Well, he did it to him.
remember in the first film where the facehugger had finished with John Hurt, and then like a few hours later, while they're having dinner, John Hurt suddenly starts convulsing and just can't move, and is just there on the table, and then eventually this chest bursts up out of his chest. As how did we go from that to all of a sudden you're still very much conscious, have Herculean strength, and you get a good like 20 seconds to just do whatever the fuck you want before it bursts out of your chest.
It's not even like they took Alien 3. In Alien 3, like she got sicker as it went on, which is not how it worked before, but you know, at least it kind of makes sense. There's a thing inside you take. But in this one, he was like, guys, it might be coming, and then like, I was like, oh no, it's not coming. Then this happens 20 minutes later. And suddenly you don't get iller, you get superhuman strength for your last minute on planet Earth. Suddenly you can like wrestle bears to the ground if you need to.
It's that adrenaline, son.
Another favorite scene of mine might be, and it's related to this one, is when they first find this guy and they're all just talking about him, and he's just constantly in the background going, "What's inside of me?
Oh
What's
yeah.
inside of me?" And he says it like a good 10 times before he just shouts, "What the hell's inside of me?" It was really
I quite
funny.
enjoyed that bit.
Sorry, Joe. I feel like you're going to say something. Interrupted.
Oh,
Just need
yeah.
to get that out.
It was a funny scene. I was gonna say I don't mind the idea of having someone like in completely different circumstances, mind, in a different movie. But the idea of having a chest burster burst through someone and then work its way through someone else, if they were intentionally doing it, knowing the consequences, as to kill somebody, sure, it's a pretty cool idea. But no, not the way this movie did it.
They didn't
That's
have
what-
to like do it through his skull. Like that's a lot of effort for an alien to go through a skull. Sure.
Yeah, like if he grabs him and holds him, and then it comes out, and you know when you put the rat in a bucket over someone's chest and heat the bucket up, and it digs through their chest,
Yeah.
Oh,
like
thanks
that,
for that.
in reverse. Yes, exactly. We do this all the time.
Thanks for that
Nina's
Game of
reminded
Thrones
me.
reference.
That is what we were going to call this episode. What's inside of me? That was it.
Uh,
There it
Too
is.
late now. Now it's just a sad-looking clone.
Oh,
But yes. Oh Christ. But I could see that being a good joke, because I feel like if again, I already hate the fact that they've brought Ripley back, but fuck it, they've brought Ripley back. Ripley's the main one who knows about how these aliens work, and there's someone she doesn't like and that she wants to kill, and they all don't know how the alien chest burster works apart from Ripley. I could easily see her like either tripping him up or like cleverly positioning him at some point to just be like near or on top of the guy who's about to be chest bursted. And yeah, it could be quite a clever death scene, actually. But
Yeah.
the way they did it here was fucking retarded, but also hilarious.
oh yeah, it fit this movie to a fucking T.
It was
was
utterly
pretty
bonkers.
shit. Yeah, it was
Top to
beyond
bottom.
reason. But in a different movie with completely different execution, it could have been thematic and cool, but it fit this movie, which isn't a good thing.
Well, yeah, if I had to rank my favourite scenes in the movie, it would be this chest burster scene, followed by man who just wants out of the movie scene. He just wants to
Yeah.
die. Followed by basketball scene, because the basketball scene made no sense.
Which
the
Yeah.
part of the
basketball thing.
basketball scene? Is it the actual fight, or is it back in the basketball hall when we first see his ability to bounce bullets off of things, or like which?
I'm
which
talking
bit are you on about there?
Ripley styling on Ron Perlman for some reason.
Right.
Ron Perlman's
Okay.
like, "Hey, little girl, just give me that basketball," and she's like, "No," puts it behind his head. He's like, "I can't get it back there. You got skills." I'm like, okay.
I know some other indoor sports. Fuck you, Ron
I'm
Perlman.
Ron Perlman.
Oh,
Remember his introduction scene where he just casually throws a knife into a disabled
Oh,
person's
yeah.
legs?
And then he's like
And then
making
acts
like
like a
gorilla
monkey.
noises.
yeah.
Because when you throw a knife into a disabled person's leg, they're useless appendages at that point. It's not like you can bleed out or anything from that. It's just, you can mete out any amount of abuse on a disabled person's useless legs, I guess, because that's how that works.
Ron Perlman knows this.
One
Oh.
scene that I enjoy in this film is where they're going into the like base and then they're all getting like metal detected or whatever,
Oh,
and they're the
yeah.
most incompetent soldiers ever. Like they scan like Ron Perlman and he's like, "What do you got here?" It's like a flask, and it's like, "Ooh, it's my special brew. It's got a gun in it. It's got a gun in it."
I was not expecting that. When Joe joked that it had a gun in it, I was like, yeah. And then later on, he pulls a gun out of it. I was like, the fuck?
And there was the guy in the wheelchair, and the guy was like, "Do you want to check the chair?" And I was like, "Actually, yes, that would be a good idea." And he just drives off, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." And he has a gun in the
'Cause
chair.
he casually assembles a shotgun later from the stuff that's on the chair.
That's pretty cool.
My
actually.
favorite one is the Ben. Go.
Yes, go on. I was gonna say. Were you gonna say the gun hand man?
Yeah, the guy who has like
Bullet.
hidden blade guns up his arms.
Hidden
It's like,
blade guns.
the only way you can get that through security is if they don't scan your arms. On what don't they scan? For whatever fucking reason, they don't scan his arms.
So they fail.
Like, why
3
even have that
times?
scene there? Like, why?
To show how incompetent at filmmaking they are, okay, we have more efficient metal detectors. It's the fucking scanners you walk through at an airport, go all around you.
The only
else they
reason for that movie, that scene to be there, is so we see the flask, and then go, "Oh, it was. It had a gun in it."
Yeah, they're gonna. What else? They also just Winona Ryder's got like special keys on her or something to like open the doors that everyone breathes on.
She also had a knife, didn't she?
She also just had a knife in her boot the entire time.
Oh, did she? Great.
Yeah, she.
These guys are useless.
How did they not detect the knife? They literally scanned from the boot up to the chest.
Oh, I'm sorry. It seems we got the detector that detects everything but metal.
We were looking for wooden weaponry. That's the issue. It's bound to be
What a week.
physically.
I love the hidden blade guns because they're just a little bit less efficient than a holster. just like why? Why do you have it set up like this?
Like, if
For
those
that
get
exact
jammed, you're
scenario.
fucked.
Because no one ever checks your arms.
Obviously.
It's the
Apparently.
last
Couldn't
place they
keep-
ever check.
You can't keep anything hidden up your sleeve. So it's not like we have a whole franchise called Assassin's Creed or anything. Like, granted, this wasn't out by then, but still, I feel like if we could come up with the idea now, it's probably been an idea in the past. Humans are very good at coming up with ways to kill each other or to smuggle shit.
Yeah. Oh god. Yeah. Fuck this movie, man.
Oh, God. Film, it hurt.
It's for all these reasons though. I find this so much more entertaining than Alien 3.
I will
you-
agree with that. This film is bad, but it was funnier.
You guys say you find this film boring. I don't find this film boring. I find it batshit insane for the most part. I'm like, there's always something around the corner where I'm like, why did you do it this way? Why did you think to make it like this?
Yeah.
Oh,
Fair. I've seen plenty of terrible movies that are so badly good. But these aren't like parts of ones like typically that are parts of franchises I like.
yeah, they
and
usually like
when-
one-offs.
Yeah, like fucking Sharknado or some shit. Or The Room. And when it's this, and I did have a better time watching it, but that was because I was watching it with you guys. But this is so unbelievably bad that I can't justify it and say, "Oh, it was funny," and put it above Alien 3. I don't think.
Oh,
I don't know.
spoilers for what I'm thinking for the list later on, but I like it better than Alien 3 just for the silly times you can have with it. But before we get to any, we do have another ranking that we've not done yet, and we need to
Ooh.
rank our alien designs against the other alien designs.
Oh, fucking boo.
So we've got Alien Queen, who gives birth like with the human reproductive tract, because that's technically a new variant. And we've got, well, Joe's avatar.
Yep, floppy nose.
Oh, the floppy nose.
So far our list is original alien from Alien, followed by Alien Queen from Aliens. Then we've got the Aliens variant of the Xenomorph, and then we've got the Alien dog from Alien 3. Where we'll
Well,
start.
there's the aliens in this, right?
Yeah, they are a bit different, and they have better CGI,
Are
I
they?
guess. Well, they're different from Alien 3, and we also get more full body shots of them than we ever do from Alien or Aliens. In like that scene where it's like crawling over the outside of like the escape pod and whatnot, we actually see like.
Yeah.
I'd say they're a bit more
specifically the prison bit.
animal constructed than the original ones, which were just men's suits.
I'm thinking more specifically of like the prison scene. That's where my more vivid picture
okay.
of the and the
They're
swimming,
also
I guess,
way
but that's
gooier.
So
yeah,
gooey.
the super gooey.
Like how do you even function as a being when you're just dripping goo the entire time?
You just slide around.
You just literally just slide around in your own goo. How is that cell like not completely like full of liquid?
Oh, there was
Did
a
it have-
grating in the wall.
Oh,
Yeah.
that'll do it.
They just let
So
it drip out.
we'll start with the sad human alien. Is it better than
So-
anything?
No,
Absolutely not. It's the
I've-
worst thing I've ever seen.
I've just put it in rank 14.
I'm not gonna fight that.
It's the worst thing I've ever seen.
I agree. It's in last. The Alien Queen is close to it, but Jesus Christ.
Okay.
Put that in 8.
The xenomorph as featured in Alien Resurrection.
I would say
Yeah, serviceable.
better than
Better than
alien dog poo, but worse than aliens.
Agreed.
Yes, I would. I'm saying okay. Dog poo's 3, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, dog poo's 5th. Oh no, it's 4th.
No, Alien
No,
3,
Aliens.
he's saying.
What?
It's
Alien
from
Never
Alien
mind.
3.
Yeah.
Yes,
film.
yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
I agree.
Sorry, my brain just collapsed in on itself. Alien.
I might have made an argument that this one could have been better than Aliens, just more
I-
just because you see more full body shots of it and it moves a lot more. But
I was going to say it's better than Aliens, to be honest.
You know,
Yeah.
to be honest, you're probably right. I don't want to give this film anything.
I know. That's
This is
what I
the-
was fighting against.
This is not a mark saying the film is better than Aliens. Far from it. But the alien design might be a smidge better.
I feel like they're pretty damn good in Alien. And you do get full body shots of them as well.
There is that good.
What about
There is that. There is that shot in Aliens where it comes out of the water, which is cracking.
Comes out the water, you got the scene where he pops his head in the vent and there's like loads. If you watch the director's cut, like, you probably should, you also see them getting torn apart by the machine guns.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
just
it's more
feel like-
design than anything.
I just feel like this one
Atmos-
moves better. It looks like it moves more like how I feel like an alien should move.
But it's so wet. It's so wet.
Yeah, it's a bit too wet, actually, isn't it? Yeah, I think
What?
Aliens is better.
Sorry, you just reminded me of the scene where Ripley rips the inner mouth out of the alien. It basically turns to a floppy dildo.
And just
Oh,
gives it
And
God.
he passes it to Vinod.
Another one of those moments where you're just like, why?
Like,
Literally, the film is full of those bizarre, like weird sexual moments. You're like, what are you doing?
and Ripley gives like a little cheeky smile, like,
Also,
Am
why
I?
is this appendage that can pierce human skulls suddenly just like a floppy dildo?
it's just,
I guess the only explanation we've got is that it's like a penis.
yeah.
It needs blood pumping through it to keep it hard.
I think
Yes.
that was the idea.
Yep.
See,
That's why they wait when they get close to someone. They're trying to get it on, getting turned on by it. On like, okay, I'm ready. And then it's
That's
really
what-
embarrassing when they open their mouth and it just flops out.
Does-
I swear that
does-
doesn't always happen.
Does anyone die by the mouth in this one? They must do.
Yes, I'm sure someone does.
Because in Alien
Yeah,
3, it was all about it. It
The
was like all he
general,
did.
Remember? He
Oh yeah, he like
comes
pulls
out
his
and then he
brain
pulls
out.
his no, he pulls his tongue out.
Oh, it's his tongue.
I thought this was the movie where they were all about killing them with the inner mouth. Like,
Oh, might have been.
Pretty much every kill was with the inner mouth in this one. I'm pretty
Oh,
sure.
actually, it's true. In Alien 3, it did kind of just maul them to death.
Like chewing
By the
on
way,
the
this
face of
whole-
it.
that general guy, I was trying to figure out the entire time what I knew him from, and it was really bugging me. And I think I know him because he's the lawyer in the Addams Family. So
There you
there we go. Also, the hairiest shoulders
Yeah.
I've ever seen on a human being.
Yes.
go. Yes, he was one step from ape, wasn't he?
He's evidently not human. We should put him in the alien design list.
I think so.
Put him at number 7.
As desperate
Okay.
as we are, no.
It's better than the weird thing.
I guess the only other alien we've got to rank is the pregnant alien queen.
I put it in 11. I hated it.
They reduced something that was so badass, finale of Alien to this. It's just lying there in a disgusting birth scene, and then it just instantly gets its head caved in by the
Yep.
offspring.
Face bitch slapped off. Cool.
Yeah, just no.
Do we ranked them?
Whoa.
Right, let's wrap this up, people.
Do it's hair and costuming with Ben.
Fuck.
I can't remember. Everyone was wearing leather because it was the 90s, and it was weird. Ripley was
the
wearing like this.
scientists were wearing lab coats.
I'm sure they were like leathery though. I don't know.
You know what really disappointed me about hair and costuming in this one is that this is the second movie in Aliens. We're introduced to the most perfect soldier in all of media, the Space Marine, and they refuse to fucking put them in anything ever again. Like we got the coolest guns, we got the coolest equipment, the coolest looking armor, and we're like, what do? We put them in white hazmat suits in the next one. What do we do after that? We give them weird future guns, and they don't wear any armor. Like, oh, okay.
And they don't even do any fighting.
No, they fuck off.
Nina says, Ripley's boots are wonderful. I want them.
Cannot remember.
Oh dear. I've just fucked up the
Remember you
document.
mentioned that. You have.
That's fine.
Anyway, what else? What are the costumes? Everyone was just, I don't know.
Generic.
From a
Yeah,
Very
costume
coats,
perspective,
generic military, and then generic 90s badass looking characters. Badass in inverted commas.
My
There
predominant.
There must have been someone off
Predominantly
screen at
brown.
all times with like a squirt can just to make everyone sweaty. So that must have been quite the undertaking. After every scene, like, you're not quite sweaty enough. Let's douse you down a bit.
But there's mist in their face.
That was the director. He was doing that himself. He's walking up to them. It's like, just mist him a bit more. Just come on. Just get him a bit more wet. Come on.
More fluids.
Come on. More fluids.
More fluids.
Another fun fact as well is the French director. He didn't actually speak a word of English during the film. He had translators helping him work with the cast, with the crew, and everyone else.
No
He
wonder
didn't
it seemed
speak
like
English.
nobody had any direction.
He couldn't speak English yet.
How did this guy
Oh,
get the
dear.
job? Really?
I don't know why. I don't know.
He hadn't done anything previously to suggest he'd make a good alien movie. Did he know someone? Did he?
Someone
Did he
owed him
say-
a favor.
I guess he just knows someone.
He walked into Fox Studios like, I have an idea. It is alien, but gooey. And they were like, yes! 70 million,
No,
give
no.
it to him!
Alien, but gooey with lots of sexual tension.
Oh yes, so much sexual tension and floppy dildo tongues.
So far,
Do you want to?
the alien has not had a penis. I propose we give it a penis.
Do you want to know something horrifying that I've just found out?
Oh no.
The director was very adamant about, the weird, creepy human alien.
Yes.
He wanted it to have a mix of male and female genitalia.
Ahead
Human.
of his time.
What is wrong with this man? Oh. He eventually changed his mind, feeling that even for a Frenchman, it's too much. That is what he said.
Are you joking? That's brilliant.
That's brilliant.
That's perfect.
Um,
Thank you, director.
They were actually the genitalia were removed during post-production using digital effects, so they were there the whole time.
Oh,
Oh
wow.
god, imagine filming with that and seeing it.
The guy
Oh.
was like, the effects like this, like, you know what, this is too much.
No wonder Ripley had to cut and laugh every time that alien was on screen.
Big floppy schlong. Brilliant.
Oh my god, this film.
That
Should
was
we-
hair and costuming with Ben.
That was the worst segment I've ever done.
Well,
Um,
thankfully it won't get worse potentially in that segment.
It won't.
I mean, it will.
But the rest of the categories will get worse.
I mean, next week. Well, next time I get to talk about Michael Fassbender, so that's all right. I guess. got
it's
hair.
Michael Fassbender. But does this do anything for you, Ben? He plays one of the androids.
I know. I mean, I just love Michael Fassbender. So
He's an awesome actor. I next week I'll be fine because Prometheus I find funny, but I demand we watch Alien Covenant together as well. 'Cause God damn, that film made me hurt.
I'll watch them all together, damn it. Because I hate them. I think. Who knows? I might love them.
Prometheus rubs me the wrong way. I don't know. I can't. I find it hard to put. It's way better made than this film or Alien 3.
does this film rub you the right way, as intended?
Certain scenes do, of course.
Gooey holes.
Gooey hole. Who doesn't want to stick their finger in Winona Ryder's gooey hole?
Somebody clip that.
With
Oh
a
God,
fish.
we actually can. This is Twitch.
You've been clipped. Should
Winona
we-
Ryder looks about like 3 in this film.
She always looks like she's about to cry.
That's a great.
She
That's a great line to
What?
follow up me wanting to put my finger in her
Keep-
gooey hole.
Oh no!
Keeping in mind as well that when I was looking through the random trivia for this film, she signed up for this film because she really wanted to star alongside Sigourney Weaver in the Alien franchise. Like, you picked the wrong film to be on. I mean, I guess you technically picked the right one because it's the last one she'll ever be in, but at the same time, goddamn.
This was her very last chance to do it. So
Yeah.
Was it worth it? What did it cost?
Was it worth it?
What did it cost? Not like this.
Everything.
about $11 million is what it cost.
Yeah.
Apparently.
But right, yeah. Shall we get to ranking the shit?
Oh
Yes.
right, yes, I have graphics, don't I? Sorry, the chat's going to get wiped, but I've got a whole new scene to open. Boom! It's a ranking list.
Boom.
Boo.
Now I'm gonna request that everyone else go first because I'm gonna actually struggle because I still don't know if I consider it better or worse than Alien. Give me a while.
It's better than Alien 3.
I don't know.
Alien
I-
3 was fucking garbage. But this was garbage too. But like funny garbage a little bit. I don't know.
Well,
Doesn't necessarily means it's better though. It means you enjoyed it more. But this is actually better.
But surely is that not the cry? Is if I enjoyed a film more, surely I think it's better.
No, because
Mm.
guilty pleasures are a thing.
Yeah, it's very true. This is not a guilty pleasure.
I mean,
this
it's
is
sort of how you want to define it, really. It's up to you, but I don't know if I could justifiably say it's better than Alien 3 because it's so fucking bad.
You are right.
I remember after
But
the last,
Alien,
I was like, "There's no way anything can be worse than Alien 3 because it was so boring and it's so insulting." But this is just there's nothing good about this movie. Much like Alien 3, actually.
I think Alien 3 is worse. I think it.
2 hours, Chris.
Yes, you're right.
The thing about Alien 3 is it's insulting, it's terrible, it's all boring and awful, and everything's drab and dreary and miserable, and it's just the worst shit ever. And it poos on great movies. I'm trying to find a but here.
Yeah, I was gonna say Alien 3 is like the original beginning of the character assassination / just getting rid of basically anything good that happened in Alien. Whereas this one, it kind of knows it's bad. I feel like that, and it's just continuing the trend. And I feel like continuing it is not as offensive as the one that instigated it. Because Alien 3, you got Ripley being fucking retarded. You got them insultingly killing off Hicks and Newt in a very horrific way right at the beginning of the film, off screen in a very weird editing choice, and then just the rest of the film is both nonsensical with regards to its setup slash plot, because the production of Alien 3 was just botched and they literally had no idea what the fuck they were doing with it.
You see,
And
Alien
then-
Resurrection has a slight advantage in that it comes after Alien 3.
Yeah.
Alien 3 came after Aliens and destroyed the legacy. There was no
Yeah.
legacy left for Alien Resurrection to kill.
Yeah,
It was
you're
the
very
final
right.
nail in the coffin, but there was already, the 20 nails that preceded it.
I think Alien 3 just like that killed the franchise. Like this is just like whatever. Like this had no hope
But does
to
that
begin
make
with.
it a better movie? Like,
Well, let's
I
put it
think
this way.
so.
What
look at them in isolation. I get what you're saying. You are right.
what would you say in this film, Joe, is either more offensive or more nonsensical to you? Then why would you say this film worse?
Like,
Because you were
you
struggling
can't-
with the butt before.
What's worse than Alien Resurrection?
Mm.
I want to say everything.
I
Except-
was about to say that.
Um,
Everything. But
Look, everything is worse except for the look of the movie. The look is fucking awful. I hate it. I hate the fact everything's so bright. There's no atmosphere or tension. But it's better than Alien 3.
I'll agree with that.
It's awful, and it's not an Alien movie in the slightest. But it's a tiny better than Alien 3, because Alien 3 was so much worse somehow. That's the only thing that's better. Obviously, all the points, about Alien 3 being insulting and destroying the legacies and all this stuff is very, very true. And it makes me angry how bad Alien 3 is. But this movie's like beyond bad. It's just,
And that is
It-
where I think it comes full circle.
I know, and I
It's
get that.
so
but
bad, it's entertaining. Whereas
Like,
Alien 3 was just bad and boring. That's why Alien 3 had the cardinal sin of not only being a bad Alien film, not only destroying the Alien franchise and everything we liked about Aliens, but being boring. Nothing about Alien
Yeah.
3 was interesting. Alien Resurrection, at least, has some things where it's just like scratching your head, like, why does this exist?
So you get that. But you know how when we watch Cats, right?
Yes.
And it was,
okay.
it was,
It was hilarious.
it was, yeah, it was
I tried to forget, but
and we watched it, and it was funny. It was hilarious when we watched it together. But if I watched that by myself, which I never do, it would be painful and terrible. And I feel like that's what Alien Resurrection is.
yes,
I feel like I
don't
wouldn't
feel.
enjoy it at all.
I kind of agree that because we watched it together, that probably elevates it for me a little bit.
Yeah, but
There's a
think about
little
it.
bit of that.
Think about it this way: at least there's enjoyment to be had out of Alien Resurrection.
Yes.
You can watch
Yeah,
Alien 3 with as many people as you want, and it's never going to not be boring.
That's very
true.
true.
Yeah,
So true.
I can see myself watching Alien Resurrection, not as in like I'm gonna watch it again in the future, but if someone actually like forced me to say, I was like, right, you're watching Alien Resurrection, I can see myself actually laughing at the scenes that we did find funny, even just on my own, like the retarded just the chest burst scene, and oh
Yeah.
my god, and just other things like that. Whereas in Alien 3, along with just the insulting character assassinations, previous movie assassinations, and just the sin of being no, I'm gonna have to say Alien 3's worse. It might be for a subjective thing rather than an objective thing. I'd have to think over it more, but my brain is mush right now, and right now I'm very happy saying Alien 3 stays at the bottom for me.
It's a good point. You can't make Alien 3 enjoyable. I think Alien Resurrection is a worse movie, but I think it actually weirdly goes above Alien 3 because of that. Maybe.
Yeah, we've never said this list is an objective list. It's just I
That's
generally try to
interesting.
keep it that way, but
Well, my ranking process has nothing to do with objectivity. Most of the time, it's purely, did I enjoy this more than the other one? I'm like, yeah, for me, it's better. If I can gain more enjoyment out of a thing, that's where I'm more likely to say it's better than the other thing.
Yeah, I agree. Even though I really think this is the worst thing ever. I think it's worse than Alien 3, but it's it's better. It's more enjoyable, but it's worse.
It's
We're
so
splitting
much worse
hairs, to be
made.
honest. To be honest, it doesn't really matter, does it? Like we've got Alien and Aliens, Aliens and Alien, and then there's just garbage. So it doesn't really matter.
No, I
None of
agree.
this matters. Nobody
Yeah.
cares.
Nothing.
It all
Nothing.
matters, Ben. They need to know what's the worst of the worst.
This is the list. No, I agree with what we've said though. Above
Question:
Alien 3.
Is it in number 3 below Alien, or is it in number 5 above Alien 3?
I can't go any higher than 5. I refuse to believe
Yeah.
that it gets worse.
I don't know. I'm from memory. I'm gonna be contesting that Alien Covenant be going somewhere near the bottom.
It
I mean-
can't be. It just
It
can't be.
really can. It
I mean,
really
wait,
can.
I'm
But
interested.
Dion, it was the 90s. The 90s was shit. We're better than that now.
Ben,
That's-
you know how well prequels go over, right?
I mean,
They try to explain things they really shouldn't try to explain, and it gets really retarded and really annoying.
I have heard that
it gets convoluted real quick, but
I have
least
heard that
they look
Prometheus
pretty.
is up itself a bit. Can't
oh,
wait.
it is up itself. Did you want to go into your Alien movie thinking about what the meaning, where the origins of life were? Well,
No.
we're going to. We're going to explore that, and somehow
But I
it's
don't want
related
to.
it. Somehow it's related to a xenomorph.
Oh, there we go.
Yep,
There you go.
that's the list, ladies and gentlemen.
It's in fifth. Somehow we populated it top down, and then we populated it bottom up. Now we just have to fill out the middle of the list. Unless by some weird stroke of fate we think Prometheus is better than Alien.
No.
No. Even though I haven't seen it.
Well,
Gonna
that's
say it now.
that's the mystery gone.
The mystery is where they'll end up on this list because I don't know. These prequels are pretty bad.
I've watched. Oh, I'll switch back to the normal podcast layout so that people can see who's speaking again. I mean, I guess this is we've ranked it. We're talking about what's coming next week, which is not next week, week after. So once a month.
Yes,
Is
we
it
got
once a
a
month?
1 week break.
Once a month, 1 week break. Yeah, but up next is Prometheus, which I've watched many times and is a bad movie, but at least it's pretty. I've only ever watched Covenant once, so I don't. There's one bit at the end of Covenant I remember thinking that's the most skin crawly moment I've seen in an Alien film, and we'll get to it, I'm sure. If we had a top scares moment, it would be probably the only bit of any of these movies that I'd find particularly scary.
Ooh, okay.
But anyway, that's the future. And you guys looking forward to Prometheus?
It
No.
depends. I mean, I'll be watching it with Nina, so at least I'll have company. But I would like to watch these films, or at least definitely Alien Covenant with you guys. But Prometheus, I can at least get a laugh out of as well, from memory.
I think Prometheus might be my most watched Alien movie.
Please make sure that changes. Watch Aliens. Oh, I need to watch that film more. I liked it so much I bought it.
I've been meaning to buy the special edition on Blu-ray, or if it is a Blu-ray of it at some point, just to have for my collection. Not that I have the room for it anymore. But it's the end of the podcast, isn't it? I should.
It really is.
Yes.
It's actually been quite a long one. We've gone an hour and a half.
I know.
If you made it this far in a Blunt Lemons video, I'm going to assume you're quite possibly mad because I don't know who in their right mind would have listened to this all the way through. Well, apart from, I guess, Nina, who was here the entire time. But thank you for watching.
Nina.
Please... Oh, sorry.
I was just going to say Nina suffered through the film with us, so it makes sense.
True. If you made it this far, I'm going to assume you quite enjoyed it, so please leave us a like, a comment, a subscribe, ring the little dangly bell, follow us on Twitch, all that sort of stuff. Dion, what's happening on stream whenever this comes out on YouTube? Or indeed now.
I can't remember. Does this come out the same week? Or it's supposed to come out the same week?
Oh, I don't know anymore. Because I messed this up recently.
Well, okay. So as of the point of this being recorded, I am currently playing my way through the Outer Wilds the weekends, Saturday nights 7 till 10, Sunday mornings 9 till 12. We're basically in the end game now. So that game will be soon be over, and I've been having a real fun time with it, and I'm now in the process of re-uploading everything I stream on Twitch back onto YouTube so that we have a permanent archive, basically. So go ahead and check both Twitch and YouTube out for my playthrough of that and whatever's to come next. I don't know what comes next because we always choose at random with a literal spinning wheel as to what game I'm going to play next. And yeah, apart from that, it's this movie podcast, like Chris said, every Monday, apart from the 1 week break that we're taking this week, which happens every now and then because of work schedules. And also this Wednesday, I will be live streaming again with Nathan. That's the Chaotic One Gaming. Some Phasmophobia, which Chris, I forgot to actually ask you. Do you want to play that again with Nathan, or will you have to pass?
I want to. I don't know. Put me down for tentative yes for now.
Okay, yeah. So tentative yes, because it'll be about the same time as last time. So like 5, was it 5-ish we played last time? Anyway, yeah, like about 5-ish on a Wednesday.
I really got to get my ass into gear on this group project I'm doing, and since today didn't go that well, I've got to, work extra hard on that. But I should be around. I'm
Yeah,
always
that's
willing
fair.
willing to do something that's not that.
I'll let him know it's a maybe. Don't worry about it. Just let us know on the day if you think you can or not. But yeah, and that's about it for Twitch at the moment. So yeah, we'll see what comes next after the Outer Wilds. And occasionally on Saturdays, we'll do a Blunt Lemons Live where we play, well, at the moment it's usually Battlefront or Red Dead.
Ben, plug the socials.
Hello, please follow us on Twitter at Blunt Lemon. And Chris, you didn't ask me to give a comment. Shall I tell him to give a comment?
Ben, just assume that you are to do that every time.
Okay. From now on, I will rattle off a comment. What I'd be interested to see what people think regarding ranking Alien 3 and this Resurrection. Like, which one do you think is worse? Because you can argue it either way. So I would be quite interested to see that.
I want to know if there's someone out there who genuinely likes this movie better than Alien or Aliens. Is there someone out there? I'm sure they exist.
If they are, stay away from my channel. Don't want you here.
Wow. Don't chase away my followers, please.
We're very inclusive here, apart from those people. They can fuck off.
Well, that's our podcast. Ben's scared
Sorry.
of the one person who made it to the end.
I've scared everyone off.
One person was like, "Well, at least they're talking about Alien Resurrection. I'll listen to the end." And then Ben's like, "Get out, go away. We don't want you here." That lonely Alien Resurrection fan. Anyway, I guess it's time to sign off. So everyone say your goodbyes.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone. See you in a couple of weeks.
Adios.
For the grand prequels, Prometheus.